Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasia. I'm from Russia, and I speak Russian, English, Czech, Slovak, Serbian, a bit Spanish, and now a little bit Romanian. As I said, I'm from Russia, but now my husband, my little daughter, and I, we are living in the capital of Moldova, which is Chisinau. As you know, my current interest is Romanian, which is official language of two European countries, Romania and Moldova. In spite of here in Moldova, I encounter a lot of people for whom is basically important to call their language as Moldavian. Of course, there are several reasons of Slavic impact on Romanian language. First of them are the migration routes of Old Slavs. As you see on this map, and my presentation is in Romanian also. As you see on this map, territory of nowadays Romania and Moldova was literally on the way of Slavic roads to the Balkans. But let's leave details to historians and return to linguistic part. The second reason is the Balkan Linguistic Union, or Balkan language area, or Balkan Sprachbund, and Romanian is a part of it, along with Bulgarian, Macedonian, Greek, Albanian, Slovene, BCMS, which is Bosnian, Croatian, Montenegrin, Serbian, Turkish, Gagauz Turkish, Romanian, Midland Romanian, Eastern Romanian, and of course Balkan Romani. All these languages have some similarities in grammar, in syntax, in vocabulary, in phonology, despite the fact that they belong to different language branches of the large Indo-European family. And if we are talking about Turkish and Gagauz Turkish, they are not even from Indo-European family, they are from Ural-Altaic one. The third reason that Romanian feels so much impact on it, Slavic impact, is religion. Romania and Moldova are mainly Orthodox. Even Gagauzia, which is the part of Moldova, is Orthodox, and it's really unusual because as I'm Russian, I got used to the fact that if someone speaks a language that is similar to Turkish, we have Tatar, Bashkir, and so on. They have to be Muslims, but Gagauzians are Orthodox as main part of other Moldova, and what is the reason? Cyrillic alphabet was kept in Romania for a really long time, before 1862, and because of it was an Orthodox alphabet, if we can say so. If you look at the map, like geographical map, you'll see that Catholic Slavic countries use Latin letters, as for example, Croatia, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, and so on. And Orthodox Slavic countries use Cyrillic alphabet, like Russia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, but this this rule does not work. It doesn't work with BCMS, which is Bosnian, Croatian, Montenegrin, and Serbian on Balkans, but in other cases it really works. If we are talking about Moldova, in Moldova, Cyrillic alphabet was used even during the Soviet times. For example, my husband was raised and was born and was raised in Transnistria region, which is hard to define as a historical part of Moldova, because historically, like it is Ukrainian part, but it is Moldova, like de jure, and he is 34 years old, and at school he learned Moldavian in Cyrillic, even after even after Soviet Union, and Moldavian in Cyrillic was a foreign language for him. Like all people in Transnistria speak Russian. There are a lot of people, they speak Russian, Bulgarian, Ukrainian, but Russian is the main one. And one more reason is the earlier mentioned by me Soviet Union, which extended its influence not only on Moldova, which was a part of the Union, but on the whole Eastern Europe region, so that Romania belonged to the socialist bloc and has many cultural, political, working relations ties with the Soviet Union. Here you can see like Moldova is number 10, small one, I think the smallest one, and Moldova has Moldova is between Ukraine and Romania. So we are finally going to similarities and Slavic traces in Romanian. The first block is phonetics and phonology. There is a specific politicization that is not really distinctive for Romance languages at all, but it is very typical for Romanian and Slavic languages. It can be observed, for instance, in Russian or Serbian or Slovak, and let's see what it is. It's, for example, p. You can't observe this politicization in Italian or Spanish or French, for example. Lup, it means wolves. Z, astăzi, it means today. N, prieteni, which means friends. And if you speak some Slavic languages, you can see there, like prieteni is приятель, приятель, přítel, приятель, etc. Tc, for example, it can be one will be student, and when there are many students. G, merge, he goes or she goes. Sh, sănătoși, like they are healthy. Și așa mai departe, which means etc. etc. There are a lot of palatalized consonants in Romanian. And we continue with phonetics and phonology. There are some specific Romanian sounds which are and u. This one, the first one, we can observe, we can look at it at words fără, tânăr, vată. This sound, the common articulation of vowels was not being so intense in some periods of Romanian of the history of Romanian language, and that is the reason of the appearance of this sound. This like reducted sound, and this reduction at all is not typical for all Slavic languages, and the strongest reduction you can observe in Russian and Slovene. To be honest, it is something when we Russians say korova. We don't say korova like it is written in the text, but after the stressed syllable, you can hear something like this Romanian korova. It's not a, it's not o, it's not e, it's Maybe some of you, if you speak Bulgarian, for example, there is yergalam, and this is something really, really similar. And the second one is ü. It is written in Romanian with this letter, and even like English I with it. And it is originally it is really untypical for Romance languages, like nor in Spanish, neither in French, nowhere. But it is very typical for Russian, for example, and I'm pretty sure you have seen some course books of Russian that, or it is a meme just that advise you to feel hit in the stomach to pronounce it, because it is one of the hardest sounds in Russian. And in Romanian, there are a lot of words with this sound. We can hear it in words înalt, îmbrăcăminte, sfânt. For example, the main street of Chișinău city is Ștefan cel Mare și Sfânt. Really unusual that some borrowings, even from Latin, have this Slavic trace we are talking about. One of them, and the most typical, is școala, which means school. And hypothetically, it had to be scoare, like it is written here, taken into account like Romanian Latin phonetic rules. However, it is școală due to Slavic influence. Maybe this word was borrowed from Russian or Ukrainian or so on, because in Slavic languages, školo, škola, škola, etc. Talking about grammar, Romanian has a large group of E conjugation, whereas for the other Romance languages, this group is the smallest one. For example, if you learned Spanish, we learn ar, then comer, and then ir, like vivir, because it is really the smallest group for conjugations. Well, for example, there are a lot of languages of words, of verbs, like a citi, which means to read, a iubi, to love, a primi, etc. And which is really not typical for Romance languages, the existence of ü conjugation. A coborî, a omorî, a tărî, which you can see here, and the conjugation of verb a coborî. And specialists say that it is also Slavic influence, because of Slavic languages have a lot of üt, iti, etc. Conjugations. Then Romanian has a neuter gender. French or Spanish or Italian, which are the most popular, or Portuguese, for example, which are the most popular Romance languages, don't have it. Like they have masculine and feminine, and that's it. And moreover, neuter structurally it exists, but structurally it is very similar to Czech, for example, and I'll explain it a bit later. There are no specific flexions for neuter gender in Romanian. For example, if we are talking about articles, neuter uses masculine flexions for singular and feminine for plural. And what I said about Czech, in Czech there is a word děti, which means children, and it is really interesting about this word that one child is dítě, and it is neuter, and when there are a lot of děti, it changes like if it was feminine one. Yeah. The next part is morphology. And we are in this part we're talking about prefixes, suffixes, and so on. Romanian borrowed a lot of suffixes from Slavic languages, and then if you speak some Slavics, you can observe this in like almost every Slavic language. The most typical ones are itsa. In Russian, we can see учительница, for example, fetița, portița, ka, like feminine suffix, lupoaica, which is feminine wolf, româncă, which is a Romanian woman. And for masculine, it's nic, which means like something masculine, for example, voinic or războinic, and we will come back to this word. It's really interesting. Talking about prefixes, Slavic prefixes are ne. It doesn't mean that there are no ne means no, an in English, or in, like in important. It doesn't mean that there are no Latin Romance ones, but there are a lot of Slavic prefixes. Ne, you can observe in nebun, which means ungood, nenumărat, neobișnuit, unusual, do, a se dovedi, which contains kako se povedlo in Serbian, or in Czech it is povedlo se mi to, a tak dále. De vreme is one of my favorite words because there is vreme, which means I forgot how to say it in English. Time, yeah. Which means time, and there, which has definitive roots with do, which means before in Slavic languages, and de vreme means early, like before time, early. And really popular is raz, razboy. Razboy means war, and it is a word razboy, razboynik in Russian. Raskvala is raskol, for example. Раскруче. And my favorite part is lexics. of course, I invite you to think of these word roots. What do they remind you? And as for me, you remember I speak Russian and Czech and Slovak and Serbian. For example, опричинуи. You can see there what причина, причина in Czech language. А чити, and it means to read, and we can see чист in Czech, читать читать in Slovak, читать in Russian. IUB, it is one really interesting because it is one of really basic verbs, basic meanings, and it's really unusual that Romanian has its from Slavic influence and not something like amare and so on. And it means to love. You can say любить. In Russian, любите, which means something similar in Serbian. Оплати, платите, платит, платить, а так далее. It's from Czech, and when I speak Czech, it's like a reflex. Alovi. If you speak Russian, you can see there ловить. It doesn't mean in Russian it means to catch. There it is not to catch, but something next to it. If we look at adjectives, there are a lot in basic Romanian. There are a lot of basic Slavic adjectives like vesel, веселый, veselý, bogat, bohatý, bogatý, drag, which дорогой, drahý, prost, and if we see like drag is like in Russian, like my dear, for example, bogat, rich, it's like in Russian, богатый, vesel, happy, like in Russian, but prost, it isn't easy, it is stupid, maybe. Something to think about. Slab is slabый, bolnav, больной, which, ill, and gol, голый, naked. If we look at words, at these words, I already said about время, время, час, and время и час и время, Russian word. It is really important to think about that a lot of languages have some similarities with time and weather. Like время in Serbian means time and weather. Погода, Russian word погода, which is weather, it has like God inside. God is year, like something that changes during the year. And for example, in tiempo in Spanish, it means time and weather. It's a really interesting thing. Nevasta is bright, like it is in Slavic languages. Невеста, невеста. Приятен, I already said that it is friend. Baltă, it is not so easy. It's болото, blato in Russian and Czech. Час, I already said, it's watch. Запада, it is snow in Romanian, because in Russian, for example, or in Czech or in almost Slavic languages, we say that snow falls from the sky, and snow is something that falls, like pada. Разбой, it's war. And the most favorite and interesting word is дружба. You can see дружба here because it is like Soviet influence. Because in Soviet Union they liked to name something in a very friendly way, like tank Katyusha, which is diminutive from Catherine, or for example, this chainsaw that is called druzhba, and it was borrowed to Romanian from the Soviet Union, and druzhba is called the chainsaw in Romanian. Vă mulțumesc pentru atenție. I thank you very much for your attention, and learn Romanian. I have a question here. Sorry for an unrelated question, but how many traces of German are there in Romanian, and how many Romanians can speak German because of Transylvania? Maybe it's a topic for another talk. Of course, it's a topic for another talk, and you also seen that I haven't mentioned syntax because there are a lot of traces and syntax, but it's really in another topic. And if we talk about German and Transylvania, I think maybe my answer will be really far from your question. But if we if we look at like Czech cuisine, Slovak cuisine, and German cuisine, and so on, Austrian, and so on, there are no some specific ones. Languages we can say that they're similar, German and Romanian, because Romanian is Romance and German is from Germanic family, but there are a lot of influence and a lot of Latin influence. In spite of German is being from Germanic family, it has a lot of Latin influence due to Catholic Church, and I think it's not really a problem for Romanians to talk German, but I really don't know how many Romanians speak German. And the second question is, do you recommend for Romance language speakers to learn Romanian as a gateway to Slavic languages? It's really interesting questions. I think if you are a Spanish speaker or Italian speaker, it's really easy. It will be easy for you to learn Romanian as first, and then to go to Russian or Ukrainian or Slovak and so on. If you have time to learn not only Ukrainian and Polish, but to learn Romanian, it can be like a door for you to the world of Slavic languages, because there is really a lot of influence. The next question is, do you think this makes Romanian easier for Russians and vice versa? I am Russian who is learning Romanian now. I think yes, it is, and you know, I am a Czech language, Czech and Slovak language teacher, and there are a lot. There were a lot before, like political reasons. There were a lot of Russians who wanted to learn Czech and go to Czech Republic to study, for example, because they like. They thought that Czech and Russian are so similar that they will not learn so much. But every language has to be learned, and even if I take like Ukrainian now, I want to. It will be. It will not be like problem for me, like for like Icelandic, for example, but every language is a language and has its own system. Of course, these borrowings make the process easier, but system of Romanian language is really Romance. Next question. How different are Romanian and Moldavian versions of the language in terms of loanwords and other type of influence from Slavic languages? Moldavian is much more influenced than Romanian because it, like I said, it was part of Soviet Union, and a lot of Russians or Ukrainians or people from other republics were sent to live in Moldova. And I'm living in Chisinau, which is the capital of Moldova, and it is. I can say it's hard to learn Moldavian or Romanian, as you say, in Chisinau, because there are you can hardly find a person who doesn't speak Russian. Everyone speaks Russian. There are Russian schools. My daughter goes to Russian kindergarten, like for some reasons. And Moldavian is much more influenced. There are much more influence, and I can say that like when I was in Latvia, in Riga, I heard there were a lot of Russian speakers too, and I heard that like woman is going somewhere and speaking with a phone, and she speaks Latvian, but something absent, like for Russian speakers, blin and some words, feelings she takes from Russian, and even so is in Moldova. You can encounter a person who speaks super Moldavian, but something that he feels he could like say in only in Russian, because I don't know why. Maybe these languages are not having so strong lexics, for example, for feelings. Like Moldavian has much more influence. Thank you for the talk. As a Bulgarian, I could see a lot of vocabulary similarities. Do you think it was easy for you to learn Romanian? What is easy to find resources, as it is not so popular? I can say that, of course, Romanian is not my first rare language. It is not really rare because there are Eastro-Romanian or Romani or Catalan, for example. I don't think there are a lot of course books of Catalan. There are some. I'm in the beginning of my Romanian route. It is hard to find something that I would like. Not only because there are not so many course books, but also because there are no books that that I like because I wrote my own Czech book, and now I am writing Slovak, and I have experience in it. I know how it is organized in my head, and it's really hard to find something that I would like. Mhm. Next question. Are there many Hungarian loan words, especially in the Transylvania region? Unfortunately, I don't speak Hungarian at all. It is part of, I can't answer this question. Hungary, when I go to Hungary, like it is a part of Europe where I can, I feel like I am on the other planet because I don't feel so in some Germanic countries, for example, Sweden and so on, Netherlands, because at school I learned some German and English, of course. We're speaking now. I speak Slavic languages. I speak Romance, like Spanish and Romanian, and Hungary is like the other planet. I really don't know, but thank you for the question. Hungarian is really very, very interesting. Thank you for your attention and learn rare languages.